What's up, everyone? Welcome to Jace's Own World. Thanks for checking into my channel. I've been asked a couple of times on my channel to make a video of a mod list that I've done to my GTI. It's pretty extensive, not gonna lie, but there's a good thing that I wrote down all of my mods in my phone every single time I bought something for the car, so that I know and I keep track of what I have bought for the car. And I'm just gonna say the prices have added up. The prices have added up, and not gonna lie, I'm a little embarrassed by it. But because I have this channel, because you guys want it, I'm gonna make a mod list, and I'm also gonna include the prices, cha-ching, for each mod that I've done, and then I'm gonna give you a grand total at the end. And I'm also gonna break up this video into different sections. I'm gonna cover the exterior parts, which is mostly gonna be consisting of aesthetic mods. Mostly, not all, but mostly. And then I'm gonna go into interior mods, which is just gonna cover the interior stuff. And then I'm also gonna go into my engine mods, which is mostly gonna cover like performance and stuff like that. Give you guys some good numbers on what I've done, what you expect out of buying these items for your cars. So check out this channel, and let's get right to it. All right, first things first, I'm just gonna name off some of the mods that aren't really mods. They're more aesthetic, stickers or whatever, stuff like that on the exterior of the car here. So first I got stickers upon stickers upon stickers. Right here, got a vinyl wrap on the side. Pretty common thing for MK7 GTI owners to do. As you can see, it's a matte white, it's a 3M, and I installed it with my friend. And we got more horsepower right here. More horsepower, more horsepower, more horsepower, more horsepower, more horsepower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, more horsepower. Obviously, it looks like I have stickers, but man, if you do that math, what is that? 6 times 5? 30 horsepower right there. Yeah. Anyways, so we'll come around the car. I did the wrap on both sides. Oh, look. More horsepower. Yeah. More horsepower, more horsepower, more horsepower, more horsepower, more horsepower. Got a lot of horsepower on those stickers. So we'll start going to the exterior, I guess, real mods, as you can call them now. We have a CTS Turbo front-mounted intercooler. Yes, it's front-mounted. Yes, the OEM stock replacement ones are better, but this is my first turbo car, and the reason why I went with a front-mounted intercooler is because I've always liked the look of the front mounts. They just give it that pop and aggressive look, in my opinion, and so I decided to get a front-mounted one, and I think it looks pretty awesome. Now these cars also come with a front grille, a plastic grille in the front right there, and I have a video on how to remove the plastic grille if you want to check that out. But the main reason why I took out that plastic grille wasn't for the looks. I mean, it looks pretty awesome, not gonna lie, but the main reason why I did it was to access my front-mounted intercooler hoses, because before I did that, there were two times where I had to take off the front bumper because my intercooler hoses were loose. And so I took out that front grille because I wanted to have immediate access to those hoses just in case they ever came loose again. Right here I did a little mod. As you can see, I took a red PVC pipe just to match it, and this piece right here is really flimsy from the factory, and when people take off the front grille, that piece has known to break at high speeds for some owners. And so I put that PVC pipe there just for this, what's it called? The structural rigidity of that piece so it does not break. I mean, I have mixed feelings about putting that pipe there with the red, but it's whatever. I don't really care. It's not like, it's not a BMW or Mercedes, it's a Volkswagen, and it's here to perform, so whatever. Anyway, so coming to the side here, you can see I have wheels on my car. They are Rotiform KPSs. You know what, let's come to this side because the wind is kind of crazy right now. So we got Rotiform KPS styled wheels. They are 19 by 8.5, and the offset is plus 45 on them. They are pretty nice. I like the look of them. I like the black. I thought they were pretty original looking for this car. I got them back in 2017, so I've had them for quite a while. They do weigh about 4 pounds excuse me, 4 pounds more per wheel than the OEM Austins do, but I made that up in other weight savings costs or weight savings for the car, so I'm not too concerned about it. But they are also wrapped with Michelin Pilot Sport AS3 Plus all-season tires. The reason why I have all seasons is because I live currently in Utah, and that's where I do most of my schoolwork and stuff, and it snows there. So I get all seasons because I don't want to do dedicated summers and winters just because I'm cheap. When I have future vehicles, when I'm done with school and stuff, yes, I will have dedicated summers and winters if I need winters, depending on where I live. But as for right now, I'm a student and this is what I can afford, and it does me just fine. So the tires are 245 35 19s for those of you who are wondering the size. As you can see right here, I have done fender rolling for these tires because with this offset and the width of the tire, it was rubbing when I lowered it, and so I had to roll all of my fenders. Here's this one in the rear. You can see that I rolled right there. It looks a little better with the sticker, to be honest, with the wrap, not sticker but the wrap. So those are my tire and wheel setup. Yes, I think they look awesome and I love them a lot. Sometimes I wish I got a different offset so I didn't have to roll my fenders, but it is what it is. I can't take that back, so yeah, it is what it is. For those of you who are wondering where my side skirt is, it is removed because I have ran over a curb in the past, which just tore up my side skirt, so I decided to take both sides off until I got a replacement for it. As far as brakes are concerned, I have EBC Reds that I'm going to be installing this coming Monday, but as for what's in there right now, they are stock pads, and this is a 2017 Volkswagen GTI base S model. Okay, on to suspension. I have BC Racing coilovers. You can't really see them because they're just up in there. I like them. I think their dampening is really good. I think they're a great entry-level coilover. There are better ones out there, but that's what I run, and I will put the pricing and everything for that in the description below. They do pretty well for the handling of the car. The car I bought brand new, so it's not like the suspension was shot before or anything, so I didn't see a huge improvement over the stock suspension, but it does tighten it up a little bit through the corners, which is what I wanted. I have also an exhaust cutout that dumps right out of my downpipe. It's welded into my downpipe. The exhaust cutout that I have is from ECS Tuning, and by far they are the best, in my opinion. They just match up well with the car. It's a 3-inch exhaust cutout. That's the one I went for. As far as a Dogbone mount, which you cannot see as well, I have the 034 Motorsport Dogbone mount. And what else do I have? I also have probably one of my favorite mods for the car, and that is the DKM Stage 2 clutch. You also cannot see that, but I got the DKM Stage 2. Hey Spez, what's up? What's up, bud? What's up? Hi there. How's your buddy? Hey. DKM Stage 2. Love the feel. It does chatter a little bit. People think it's a diesel, but as far as the feel goes of the car, it's pretty awesome, and I can't complain about it. It has really given me more control with the clutch. It only cost me $620, and I installed it myself with my friend. So, you know, you can get these clutches for cheap. Like South Bend, yes, you can. They're more expensive. They're like twice the cost or more. But look, you can get an awesome clutch for pretty cheap, which is about the same cost as a TCU tune for the DSG anyway. So, all right, so that's it for everything on the exterior. Let's head on to the interior. All right, so we're on to the interior. Excuse the dirtiness right there. I use my car a lot for work. But let's get on to the mods. There's not much done in here, but there are some few simple things that I have really enjoyed. Let's start with my dual gauge pillar from CJM Industries. That goes right into the stock vent right there. Pretty awesome. Thought it was a really nice little setup. Honestly, it hasn't taken the heat very well, as you can see right here. Right there. The heat has kind of destroyed it. But other than that, I have had really good communication and response time with CJM Industries, and they've been great. So nothing knocking on that company. I think they make great products and they offer great customer service. As far as the gauges are concerned, they are 52 millimeter Pro Sport JDM gauges. I like them a lot. I think they match the car pretty decent. Here, let me turn the car on. See what it looks like. Pretty sweet. Needle goes up and down. Then it's got the digital, which was what I was really wanting. This one right here is my boost gauge. This one right here is my air fuel ratio gauge. Going along the windshield, I have a Valentine 1 radar detector. Yes, it is not hardwired into my car right now. I just took that apart probably about 2 months ago because I was having issues. I routed it all the way up through here, down my A-pillar, into my fuse box, which is behind that compartment there. And the connection between the wire and the fuse was having issues, and so I decided to just do this in the meantime and just getting it right there. So that's an easy mod that I'll do in the future, but when I hardwire it next time, I'm probably going to hardwire it up into this area. So on to the center dash. I think this is probably one of my favorite mods on the car, and it is a Raceseng Circuit Sphere 100 shift knob. The coolest thing about this shift knob is that I don't know the word for it, but it doesn't attract heat in the summer and it doesn't get very cold in the winter. This material right here, there's something about this material. Maybe one of you guys can write in the comments what it is. I don't remember what it was. I remember reading about it, but I don't specifically remember off the top of my head right now. But this shift knob is just awesome, guys. Like, it's weighted. Okay. It's weighted. But man, the feel, oh my gosh, guys, the feel of it is just perfect. And it's a little higher, which I like, because look at this. Look at that. that much distance from my steering wheel. Like, that's what you want when you want a manual. You don't want it to be so far away. But by far the Raceseng shift knob is just awesome. I had a BFI weighted shift knob, one of those circle ones before. That sucker got so hot in the summertime that I would have to put the AC vent right on it for like 5 minutes just for it to cool down before I could like keep my hand on it. It was ridiculous. So I got this, and yes, it's a little more expensive, but totally worth it. It's pretty cool because it comes with these little rings. I got the red one to match the GTI, but it has a blue one. You can get a black one, silver one. You can kind of custom make these, which is pretty cool. Onto this little thing right here. I did that myself. Here, let's get a better angle right there. Boom. That is my exhaust cutout switch, and I just love it right there. I was like, you know, I never used this spot for coins, and I didn't want to put that switch like over here because I think that would be kind of just annoying. So I put it right there, and it's done me well. I love it. It's just the perfect spot. Like, my hand is always over here, right? So it's just there. So anyways, love it right there. I thought I did a decent job. Everyone thinks that has seen it has not noticed anything. They think it's completely OEM, which is cool. Yes, they do have a switch for the ECS tuning exhaust cutout that can go like right here, or right here, or right here, or whatever. Makes it look way more OEM, but I found out this piece right here was a little more difficult to take apart, and so I decided not to go with that just because I didn't want to mess up the dash, you know, the center console. So anyways, on to the next mods. I have a full sound system set up in this car. In the front I have Audison Voce AV K6 6.5s. They are components, and these things are just killer. I have had so many different speakers ranging from top of the line Polk Audio series speakers to mid-range folk house speakers in this car. And you know what? These Audisons are by far way better than those, in my opinion. It just suits my ears a lot better. Less tinny noise and just more natural sounding. But the biggest reason why they sound so good is because of the other components I have in this car. But before I get to that, let's go to the rear speakers. In the rear, I have the Audison Prima 6.5 coaxials, just to fill in the rear sound. And yes, all the pricing will be added with that. In the back, in the trunk, as you can see here, I have a dual 12-inch subwoofer box with subs. I had one of my local sound system guys measure the trunk and custom make this box for me, which is pretty awesome. So it fits in there pretty well, and it's slanted on the back side so it goes up against the seats perfectly. Yes, I do wish that I had a custom-made box, like either put here or here, something like that, but those suckers are so expensive that I just don't think they're worth it, to be honest. I don't know, maybe in the future I'll do it, depending on how long I keep this car. But let's go to the subs. The subs are dual voice coil Sony GS series subs. They are 12 inches, and for the price, you cannot go wrong with these. They're so clean. They bump really well. Oh, by the way, the box is sealed. It's not ported. But these subs just bump, man. They sound so clean. Yes, I would like to have a JL audio in the future, but this is really close to how those sound, and they just produce. Not gonna lie, they just produce. Now let's go on to what is powering these speakers and these subs. First, let's go for the sub amp. We got a Hiphonics Mono 1500 watt amplifier that powers both of the subs. And this is an NVX 800.4, meaning 800 by 4 amplifier, and that powers the speakers. I have those both set up right here for my car. And then the magic behind all of this sound, the magic, because I love the OEM head unit and I didn't want to get rid of the look. Normally I would go with an aftermarket head unit like I did with all my other vehicles, but this one, it has a nice touchscreen and it's intuitive, and I like the look of it and the layout, so I didn't want to get rid of it. So what I did is I had a sound processor basically mounted to that, and what a sound processor does is not only clear up all the bad signals from like noise and stuff like that for a sound system, it just cleans everything up. And when you want to hook up a aftermarket stereo to your OEM head unit in your car, this is what you're going to need. So I have a massive audio sound processor right here underneath my driver's seat, and then I also have, if you can see that, a massive audio 9-band equalizer, and this is the sound processor and the equalizer are the money makers of why this system sounds so good. Pretty awesome system. I've had pretty good systems in every car that I've owned. This one by far sounds the best, by far. But you know what? It's also cost the most as well. So that's that. Okay, let's go to the engine mods, power mods. Let's start with the intake. I have a modified intake that I've done all myself, and it includes a drop-in K&N air filter in here, and an ECS tuning silicone hose right here, and then a CTS Turbo inlet pipe right there. You can't really see it, but it's there. That's basically it for the intake. I have done minimal amount of money on that because I know it's not really necessary unless you want to just dress up your engine bay, which I don't really care for. So I'd rather spend money on mods that matter to me, but everyone's different, which is cool. So those are what I have for my intake. I have an ECS tuning boost tap right there. I have my AFR, no, not my AFR, I have my boost gauge going to that, as well as my exhaust cutout going to that as well. So that was a pretty neat little piece, which I'll put the website in the description there. I think the main thing I have for engine mods is an IS38 Turbo, which is sitting right there. Latest version, I forget, I bought it like almost 2 years ago. Not 2 years, about a year and a half ago. Honestly, I forget the revision, but it was the newest at the time. That is mated with a Rev 9 3-inch catless downpipe, which I have wrapped in heat wrap right there. I've had no issues with that downpipe. The only thing I had to do was weld on different hangers, which my local welding shop did for me for like 40 bucks. And that allowed me to have mushrooms on the end of the hangers so that they were secured more into the bushing that the hangers went into, so it didn't rattle around. This hose right here, this blue hose, goes to my ECS tuning exhaust cutout. That's the solenoid right there, and it routes all the way down and inside my interior. So I'll show you that, which you have seen already. So as far as engine mods, I think that's it. As far as performance, I would say the last thing that puts all this together for the power is my custom tune that I'm using through the Maestro program, which I absolutely love. It's pretty rad. And the tuner that I'm using, his name is Frank Mabo. He's done a very conservative tune on my IS38 Turbo. I'm pushing 25 PSI max on this turbo because I've had 3 other turbos on my car blow in the past, and I didn't want to have another turbo blow or have any issues. So I asked him to make a conservative tune, which he did for me, and I mean, this thing has been reliable and it's fast. Like it's much faster than the basic off-the-shelf Eurodyne IS38 tune that I was using before. Much faster with this custom tune. Plus, I get better gas mileage on the highway. I'm depending on conditions, obviously, I'm ranging 35 to 42 miles per gallon on the highway. Now that might seem like a pretty drastic gap of miles per gallon, but considering like how hot it is outside, what elevation you're at, if you're going into a wind or going with the wind, uphill, downhill, you know, all that matters. So the most I've ever gotten with this car was 42 miles per gallon. And no, that's not using the computer on the car. That's me doing it on the calculator from fill up to fill up, which is pretty impressive for I've never had this thing dynoed, so I'm not throwing out numbers. This is me thinking what the numbers are on my car, but I'm assuming it's around 370 to 380 wheel horsepower, which would be around 415 to 20 crank horsepower for this car, and I would assume 390 to 400 wheel torque. So, you know, tell me another car that has that much power that gets 42 miles per gallon on the highway. I'll wait. This car is pretty awesome. So as far as engine mods, that is it. I haven't done the snow grate removal because I don't think it's necessary, to be honest. I've done it before. I didn't feel a difference in the car. Everything else is stock. My charge pipes are stock. My motor mounts are stock. Everything else is stock. So yeah, there are my power mods in my engine. Never mind, I take that back. That's not all the mods that I have in the engine bay. I am so sorry, guys. You cannot see this underneath, but I have a Forge Motorsports short shifter. It reduces the throw by, I believe, 60% over stock. And included in the Forge Motorsport short shifter, I have put ECS tuning billet cable bushings in there, which those really, I felt a huge difference when I added those to the short shifter. The short shifter definitely shortened up the shifts, but when I put those solid metal bushings into the shifter itself, the cables, oh man, that thing is so much nicer now and tight. Huge difference. And the last thing that I have in my engine mods, if you want to call it, someone's upset. Last thing, if you want to call it a mod, I have Denso spark plugs in here. This Monday I will be installing Brisk silver spark plugs, so we will definitely see what the difference will be with those. I'm in need of a spark plug change anyways, so I'm hoping those will help the car drivability a little better and the smoothness of the car. But as far as all the mods on the outside, that is it. That's all of it. All right, I guess some honorable mentions as far as mods are concerned. They're not really mods per se, but they are different from what the GTI comes with stock. And the first one is VCDS software, also known as VAG-COM. And this is provided by Raceseng. This is the only one you really want to get because it's the best. It's not no cheap one, it's the real deal. Basically, this software allows you to do everything that a VW mechanic would need to do at the shop. This software has saved my life when it has come to replacing turbos and messing around with the wastegate voltage and things like throttle body actuation when I was having idling issues, and just running software and running codes and stuff like that. It's done me really nice. I love it, and I think it's around $200 or maybe 300. I'm not really sure. It will be in the description down below, but totally worth it, guys. If you're having any issues with your car, you can't afford to go take it to a mechanic, or you just like working on it yourself, this is awesome software to have. OBD11 also provides some of this stuff, but not as extensive as this one. Another honorable mention is I use AMSOIL engine oil, and that has dropped my oil temperatures down by at least 6 degrees compared to any other oil. I used to run Motul. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but it's M-O-T-U-L. And I like them a lot. I highly recommend them too, but AMSOIL has also been really good for me. Another honorable mention is Royal Purple transmission fluid. I put that fluid into my transmission when I did my clutch job, and that has worked out really well for me, especially in the winter time. There's no clunking or anything like that. It's just a really high quality, good transmission oil. And the last but not least, I have the OEM VW roof racks, which are not on my car right now. They are in my storage because I don't need them, but they do pretty well. I think they sit a little too high, in my opinion. There's some aftermarket roof racks out there that sit a little lower, that look a little better. But as far as the OEM roof rack is concerned, I think they do a really good job. They mount right onto the mounting points, and I have used those things a lot, and I'll tell you what, those things are solid. The best thing about them is that they're solid. I used to have a Giant Rain X2, I guess freestyle all mountain down mountain bike, and I once took a trip to Mammoth, California to go mountain biking out there, and the roads out there are just flat for miles. There's nobody out there. They're just flat and straight, and just, man, you can do some top speeds. So when I was IS-20 Stage 2 Turbo, I had my mountain bike mounted on top of my car with a Yakima front loader mountain bike rack, which basically utilizes the entire mountain bike and puts it on top of your car. And then I had the OEM VW roof racks on my car to handle all that equipment. Had it all strapped down, and I went, not kidding, I went 162 miles per hour. Don't do this at home. Don't try this. I'm not recommending this. But I'm just saying I went 162 miles per hour with my full suspension, full mountain bike on top of my car, and it took it like a champ. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing was loose, nothing. So those OEM VW roof racks are solid. They will keep your stuff secured up there. I can't say anything about the aftermarket ones. I just wish the OEM ones were a little lower. That's my only gripe about them. But other than that, they're awesome. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the mods that I've done to my car. Like I said, I'm gonna put in the description the pricing of every single mod and the total of all these mods. None of the cost is including labor costs, because most of these mods you can do yourself at home if you just buy the tools for them and you take out the time, watch some YouTube videos, do some stuff. Yeah, you can do it all yourself. Now, not everyone's like that, and I understand, and they don't have the time, and they rather have someone do it because of warranty work or someone more professional thing. But I enjoy doing it myself, and that's the reason why. But yes, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like my videos, and I'll get back to you later in my next video. So peace out, guys. Thanks for watching.